Welcome to African Today, the voice of a changing continent. We bring you the stories shaping Africa's present and future, from breaking news and bold analysis to culture, innovation, and voices on the ground. We're here to inform, inspire, and amplify the heartbeat of Africa every single day. Thank you for stopping by the channel. We hope you enjoy our video. Let's begin. The growing tensions between Iran and Israel have once again brought the Middle East to the brink of a wider war, threatening not only regional stability but also global security. At the heart of this geopolitical conflict are decades-old grievances, territorial disputes, ideological battles, and proxy wars that stretch from Syria to Lebanon, from Gaza to the Gulf. But beyond the borders of the Middle East, leaders across the world are beginning to weigh in. Among them, the rising Pan-African revolutionary, Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso. Captain Traoré, known for his fierce anti-imperialist stance and outspoken criticism of Western exploitation in Africa, has increasingly become a voice of reason and resistance for a new generation of African leaders. While he governs a landlocked country in West Africa, far removed from the Middle East, his growing influence and ideological clarity place him firmly in the international conversation. The Iran-Israel conflict, a brief overview. At its core, the Iran-Israel conflict is ideological, political, and strategic. Iran, a predominantly Shia Muslim country, has openly supported various militant groups opposed to Israel's existence, including Hezbollah in Lebanon and Hamas in Gaza. Israel, on the other hand, considers Iran a major existential threat, particularly due to Tehran's nuclear ambitions and missile programs. Tensions have flared in recent years, with cyber attacks, airstrikes in Syria, assassinations of Iranian scientists, and most recently, military escalations in and around Gaza. The war in Gaza, sparked by the October 7, 2023, Hamas attack on Israel and the subsequent Israeli bombardment, has deepened the fault lines. Iran, while not directly entering the conflict, has armed, funded, and trained groups involved in these hostilities. The world responds, and so does Africa. Global reactions have varied. Western nations, particularly the United States and the European Union, have largely backed Israel, citing its right to self-defense. On the other hand, several countries in the global south, especially in Latin America and Africa, have condemned the humanitarian crisis unfolding in Gaza, calling out what they perceive as double standards and unchecked Israeli aggression. In this heated global atmosphere, Captain Ibrahim Traoré has emerged as a bold and principled voice. He sees the Iran-Israel conflict through a different lens, one shaped by colonial history, imperialist interests, and the fight for sovereignty. Captain Ibrahim Traoré's stance: justice, sovereignty, and anti-imperialism. Captain Traoré has not minced words in his critique of Western foreign policy and its complicity in global instability. In speeches and interviews, he draws a line between the struggles of oppressed peoples in the Middle East and those in Africa. According to Traoré, the conflict is not just about land or religion. It is about domination, control, and resistance. He has expressed solidarity with the Palestinian people, viewing their struggle as akin to Africa's own battle against neocolonialism. What happens to one oppressed people, Traoré has said, is a reflection of the chains we all must break. His message resonates with many Africans who see parallels between Israeli occupation and the economic and military domination African nations have endured for centuries. While not a supporter of Iran's theocracy, Traoré respects Iran's defiance against Western dictates, especially regarding sovereignty and independence. He warns, however, that escalation between Iran and Israel could engulf the region and lead to greater involvement of global powers, including NATO and the United States, in yet another endless war. Burkina Faso's shift toward non-aligned resistance. Under Traoré's leadership, Burkina Faso has distanced itself from Western military partnerships and economic dependencies. He is aligned with fellow Sahelian leaders in Mali and Niger to form a new confederation, the AES, Alliance of Sahel States, focused on security cooperation, resource nationalism, and Pan-African unity. In the context of the Iran-Israel conflict, Traoré's approach is consistent. He advocates for sovereign nations to solve their problems without external interference and warns against what he calls imperialist puppeteering that pits nations against one another for the benefit of global elites. To that end, he has called on the African Union and ECOWAS, which he also views with suspicion due to Western ties, to develop a unified diplomatic position condemning war crimes, foreign interference, and the use of disproportionate force in the region, particularly when civilian lives are involved. A Pan-African vision for peace and multipolarity. Captain Ibrahim Traoré doesn't just want peace for the Middle East, he wants a new world order, one where Africa is no longer a pawn but a player. He envisions a multipolar world where Africa, Latin America, and parts of Asia stand together to challenge Western hegemony and uphold the sovereignty of all nations. From his perspective, the Israel-Iran conflict, like the war in Ukraine, is symptomatic of a deeper crisis, the decay of the old world order and the violent resistance to change. Every bomb dropped on Gaza, every threat made against Iran, is a warning to all of us. Africa must rise, unite, and protect itself from becoming the next battlefield, he declared in a recent address to youth leaders in Ouagadougou. Conclusion: the African voice in global conflict. As Iran and Israel teeter on the edge of wider war, it is that the consequences will be felt far beyond the Middle East. Energy markets, food prices, refugee flows, and global alliances all hang in the balance. Captain Ibrahim Traoré represents a new kind of African leadership, one that is unafraid to speak truth to power, align with the oppressed, and reject foreign domination. His thoughts on the Iran-Israel conflict are not merely about picking sides, but about defending principles: self-determination, resistance to imperialism, and global solidarity among the oppressed. In a world where many leaders are silent or complicit, Captain Traoré's voice is both rare and necessary. Whether or not the world listens may very well determine what kind of future we're all heading into. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to help grow the channel. Until next time, see you soon.